What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, and I'm back with another banger video. And today, man, we're not doing that special today. It's just, I'm gonna be showing y'all how to start, grow, and promote your clothing brand in the year 2026, or this year, if you plan on starting a clothing brand. Basically, I'm gonna give y'all some tips and some tricks. Show y'all a little something, some tips and tricks on how to start it and do it all. And with that being said, man, make sure y'all like this video up, comment, subscribe, all that, because we about to hit 200 subs. 200 subs. And don't worry, listen, when we hit 200 subs, I will have a pre-recorded video for when we finally hit 200 subs on this channel, man. I appreciate y'all so much, man. Yeah, it's been about almost two and a half years we've been doing this. We've been at this, man. And I'm forever grateful for y'all. For tuning into every video, liking, subbing, commenting, whatever, man. Just showing love and, all that. But, yeah, let's get into the video. Yeah, first things first, what I want to do, man, is plan. Y'all want to plan out everything. Before your first drop, you want to plan. You just want to plan and stick to that before your first drop, man. I'm telling you, because running a clothing brand and having, people buying and looking at your stuff, all the stuff you creating and everything, it's more than just having buying and selling clothes. It's more like art. It's like not even about like the consumerism side of it. It's not even that, the buying and sell, supply and demand type of deal. It's not even that side of it. It's more of just creating something for people to really have something to wear. But other than that, man, listen, planning is really going to be your thing when it comes to starting a clothing brand. It's going to be researching and planning. That's it. Research, take notes, and plan. You want to plan out everything. You want to plan your name of your clothing brand. You want to plan, how your first drop is going to go. You want to plan how you're going to promote. You're going to plan everything out before your first drop even comes, before you even do that. Before you even start to, getting clothes and samples and stuff. No, before you even do that, you want to plan out every single thing. That's what you really want to do. Now, yeah, planning. Another thing, what comes with planning, you want a vision. You want a vision to what your clothing brand is going to be about. You don't want to just say, oh yeah, I want to sell clothes and do this, blah, blah, blah. No. You want a vision for what your clothing brand is going to be about. Do you want your clothing brand to be about fashion? Do you want it to be about, streetwear and stuff like that? You want it to be, you want it to be something for, people to look at and be like, oh, what do you want it to be about? Because every clothing brand has a story to tell. That's what I believe. I believe, me as a person that's into fashion and everything like that, man, I think every piece of clothing has a story. And when I say that, I think every clothing brand has a story to tell. Like Reckless Stars, Trap Baby Apparel, Rare Vibes, Dream Clothing, all these clothing brands, they all have a story to tell when it comes to, making clothes and being, in the clothing brand business and all that stuff. They each have a story to tell. Exotic Apparel as well. They got a story to tell as well. So, when I say that's really, that's part of their vision. You gotta have a vision when it comes to, if you want to get into the clothing brand business. So research, vision, and planning. That's it. Those are your three things when you want to start a business. So with that being said, listen, next step, we're gonna get into creating a name. Create a name that's unique to you. Create a name that's unique to you, man. Don't just be out here saying, oh yeah, I'm gonna create a clothing brand called, Rich Art Studios or something, just like Rich Art Studios doesn't even sound, it sounds like a cool name, but what does it mean to you? It doesn't mean anything. It's really, it's like, it's some clothing brand you'll really find scrolling on Instagram, some random clothing brand called Rich Art Studios or some, something saved gallery or something hidden, or stuff like that, hidden archives and stuff like that, bro. It's like it has to be about something. It has to mean something. it doesn't necessarily have to mean something to you, but it has to be unique to you. Like, it has to be something behind the way you do it. Like, something behind the way you know what I'm saying, the way you word it or name your clothing brand. But it has to be something. Like, you know, Reckless Stars. Reckless Stars is about reckless times end up making you a star. Something like that. I don't even know it. I don't even know. Cut that out. Cut that out. Like, no. Listen. To whoever owns Reckless Stars, listen, don't shoot me, but like, I understand their vision, but I don't really get your motto when it comes to your clothing. I don't get the slogan. I don't know what the slogan is. That's your, you know, I don't get what your slogan is. But yeah, create a name that's unique to you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Create a name that's unique to you. Don't be out here naming your clothing brand anything. Don't be doing that. Next step. Your next step is going to be creating mock-ups and samples. Creating mock-ups and samples of clothes. So, to do that, you can literally do that on your phone. You can do that on your phone, an iPad, or MacBook. You can literally use, you know, your whatever. You can use whatever to create a, you know, a mock-up or a sample. You know what I'm saying? So, create mock-ups. Listen, never stop creating, bro. Don't think because, oh yeah, I created 2-3 mock-ups and, you know, I'm ready to do my first drop. No. Create more. Create as many as you want. Create as much as you can. Like, literally, because the possibilities are endless, bro. So create as much as you can. Try to create as much as you can, bro. Don't be sitting here trying to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna just make 2-3 things, 4 things, and be done. I'm gonna just make this my first drop and then, you know, I'm gonna wait. No. Create as much as you can so that way you can play around with the idea of, you know, I'm gonna drop this instead of this, or, you know, I'm gonna drop this here and that, and then I'm gonna have this as a, you know, a little special drop or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, because you never know. You never know when it comes to clothing brands, and you know, we'll never know when it comes to clothes. Like, you never know when it comes to, you know, life in general. But anyway, listen. Keep creating. Just keep creating and keep making, you know, mock-ups, samples and stuff like that. Just keep making stuff. Keep creating, bro, because, you know, if you want to take it, listen, if you want to take being a clothing brand owner and entrepreneur serious, bro, keep creating mock-ups, keep making mock-ups and designs and all that stuff. Keep doing it, bro. If you're really serious about it, keep doing it. Yeah, create mock-ups and samples. The next thing you want to do is find a good manufacturer. Not every manufacturer is good. Not every manufacturer is reliable. Not every manufacturer is like, they're not valid. Not every manufacturer has good quality with their products. Not every manufacturer has, decent pricing and stuff for their products. Not every manufacturer has that. So make sure you find a good manufacturer and, stick with that manufacturer. Because they're listen, I know y'all be seeing them in the Instagram comments and all in it, manufacturer here, or we make this, they talking all this, stuff to get you to roll with them and, make clothes with them and stuff. But listen, find you a good manufacturer. And I'm going to give y'all a little tip. A place you can find a good manufacturer usually is Alibaba.com, or you can download the Alibaba app. If you got a phone, iPhone, whatever, you can just download the Alibaba app. But yeah, usually Instagram has all these, manufacturers and stuff. Now, I'm not saying you can't get your manufacturer through Instagram or get it off of Instagram or whatever, but you got to make sure they're actually legit sometimes, because you can literally, you got to make sure sometimes, because you got to make sure they're legit, like, because there have been people that got scammed and all of that because they went with a manufacturer they saw on Instagram, and and they got scammed. So yeah, there's a couple people that I know of that got scammed because they, but yeah, they chose the wrong manufacturer, But yeah, Find you a good manufacturer. That way, you know, you can work with him and, you know, discuss things and, you know, before you eat your first drop and all that stuff. Another thing you want to do, listen, you want to figure out, you know, promo and marketing. You want to figure out that side too. That's another thing. This is tip number 5 or 4. I don't really know. But yeah, you want to find you a good way to start promoting and marketing your clothes. You want to find you a good way to start doing that. You can run ads. You can, you know, do skits, clothing brand skits and all that stuff. I know y'all be seeing all them, you know, on Instagram and everything. But listen, find you some, you know, some time to get into that promotions, you know, and marketing and all that, because promotion and marketing is everything when it comes to having a clothing brand, bro. Promotion and marketing is everything. It doesn't matter if it's a skit. It doesn't matter if it's a review. It doesn't matter if it's. It doesn't matter what it is, bro. But promoting and marketing is everything. Everything. You can even run ads if you got to. You can run an ad on Instagram. You know, pay for, you know, a little promotion, whatever, to, you know, show your clothing brand and stuff. You can even do that. I wouldn't be mad at that. I'm not mad at anybody doing that because you're trying to get your name and your clothing brand out there. I'm not mad at that at all. But listen, promotion and marketing is everything. Literally everything. So, yeah, that's how people see your stuff. That's how people see your, you know, your clothing brand and pay attention and go to your page and, well, not your page, but that's how they go. That's how they go to your clothing brand page and they check out what you got. They check out your, you know, your store and all that stuff. They see all the products you got, everything. You know, so promotion and marketing is everything. Last but not least, get samples first. Do not just, you know, yeah, don't just be out here buying, you know, a whole bulk order of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, don't be out here just, wait, this one is open. Yeah, for example, don't just be out here ordering, you know, a box full of these or a box of, no, don't just be out here ordering stuff like that, bro. Because one, it's not good for your money, your pockets, it's not good. And then two, it's not ideal. You're not gonna do, like, unless you're one of those people that has like a good following or a good community behind you that support, you know, almost everything you do, don't. Because, you know, you have a clothing brand page with 100 and something followers. Nobody's really gonna, you know, buy anything unless, you know, unless you get your followers up and, you know, you get more trust into your, you know, clothing brand or whatever. And then you get more time into it. But other than that, man, listen, make sure y'all get samples. Samples first, bro. Do not just order a whole bunch of shirts, a whole bunch of sweatsuits, and no. You want to get samples first and test the product. Samples first and test the product. That's what you want to do. You don't want to do that. Samples first and test the product. So when I say that, you get the sample and try it on. So you get the sample and try it on and see how it looks. See this? This is an extra large right here. This is an extra large. Now, this hoodie has been out, you know, from my clothing brand. This hoodie's been out for about a year now. I'm down to almost nothing because I've done a lot of promotion. I've done a lot of things, a lot of photo shoots, promotion, and marketing, all that stuff for these, and it's worked out. It's really worked out because now I'm about sold out of these. So yeah, I'm about sold out of these. So, you know, and as for these, I haven't really done a lot of promotion and marketing for these, but we are gonna start doing more for these so that way we can sell these out before our next drop. But yeah, man, listen, sample and test your product, bro. Get samples and test your product, bro. So once you get that down, you'll be good. You'll be good. And then listen, make sure you get people's opinions too. Make sure you go out and get people's honest reviews or honest opinions of how, you know, your samples look or how you're, you know what I'm saying? Because of course you're gonna think that your product looks good. Of course you're gonna think about it looks good to you, but how does it look to everybody else? You know, does it look good to the paying customer? Does it look good to, you know, the consumer? Does it look good to them? So yeah, other than that, man, listen, get samples and test your product, bro. Samples, test your product, promotion and marketing, that too, man. So listen, yeah. What else did I have to say? But yeah, this is from my clothing brand. Listen, this is from my clothing brand. In case y'all wondering, this is from my clothing brand, Exotic Apparel. Make sure y'all, you know, follow it. It's on the screen or whatever, you know. Yeah, make sure y'all follow that. Yeah. Oh yeah, another tip. For example, you want to have a way to, you know, access all your samples and everything like that. So whether you're doing it off your phone or you're doing it on your, you know, iPad or whatever you got, listen. Some good apps now, listen, I will give y'all some tips on some apps to use. So some good apps to use for getting samples is Procreate, or, you know, making samples. So there's an app called Procreate on the App Store for iPhone and all that stuff, iPad, everywhere. So it's an app called Procreate, you know. You're going to make your samples and all that stuff in that app. I mean, that's how I do it. I don't know how anybody else does theirs, but yeah, you want to use Procreate and, you know, start creating. That's it. Procreate, start creating. Like another app you can use to help you with those mock-ups and designs is Photo Room. So there's an app called Photo Room, right, that you can use to help you with those, you know, designs and mock-ups that you create. So, yeah. Do I have any more tips for y'all? I don't know. Oh yeah. Also, one more tip. Crucial tip. Find you some models, or model your clothes yourself. If you think you're the one that's gonna look good in the clothes that you wear, then do it. Do it yourself. If you think, like, you know what I'm saying, just, yeah, if you think you're the only one that's gonna look good in these clothes, then do that. But yeah, other than that, this was a little short informational video, little tips for clothing brand owners out there and stuff. So yeah, if you got a clothing brand, watch this video and yeah, see what you can learn from it, man. See what you can learn and take from this video and apply it to your, you know, your business, and, you know, apply it to that. And with that being said, man, make sure y'all like, comment, and sub to the channel, bruh. And I will see y'all in the next one.